Hi, good morning or afternoon. Today is Friday, May 1st, 2020. Can you believe we're starting a whole new month? April is over. We are now in May. It is Friday, May 1st, 2020. Let's quickly go over our schedule before beginning. Remember, today you have PE with Coach Smith from 10:30 to 11:30, and there's an activity for art with Miss Wanson. Remember to do 1 hour of Imagine Literacy and 30 minutes of reading independently at home. And it's very, very, very important for you to not only do our activities online, but it's also very important for you to do Imagine Literacy and Imagine Math and reading independently, okay? Are you ready? Are you ready? Great. Repeat after me. I can identify story elements. During our reading lesson of Monday, we talked about elementos de cuento of Una bicicleta como la de Sergio. And today we're going to be talking about story elements, this time in English, of a book that is called Listening with My Heart. Okay, before we start with our book, let's quickly practice our sight words. Remember, sight words are very, very important because once we're reading in English, these sight words, we're not able to sound them out. These are words that we need to be able to recognize automatically. So make sure you're practicing all of the sight words every single day, okay? The word is find. The word is again go, again go, again go. Yes, find. The word is for. The word is again go, again go, again go. Yes, for. The word is funny. The word is again go, again go. Yes, funny. The word is go. The word is again go, again go. Yes, go. You can now pause the video and make sure you write the word 2 times and write me a sentence, okay? Make sure your sentence starts with a capital letter and ends with a period. Great job. When you're done with this part of the activity, you can pause it so we can go on, okay? Great. Like I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about story elements in a very special book. The title of our book is called Listening with My Heart. Let's quickly go over the story elements. Characters are the people or animals in the story. So they're the personajes, okay? The setting is where the story takes place. That's el escenario o el ambiente. The problem is el problema, and the solution is la solución, okay? Problem and solution are written pretty close to Spanish, so you can kind of get an idea. Today we're going to be talking about story elements in this book. Miss Carranza absolutely loves this book. It's a story of kindness and self-compassion. Say self-compassion. We've talked about how it's very important to be kind to people, right? It's very important to be kind to one another, but it's also very, very important to be kind to yourself, okay? You need to make sure you're taking care of your heart, you're taking care of yourself, and being kind and being nice to yourself, okay? Especially now, the things that are going on in the world, there's so much going on, and I want you to make sure you're taking care of your heart, you're taking care of yourself, okay? I want everybody's eyes on me right now. Make sure your eyes are on me. I want you to know that you're doing an amazing job, okay? I know all of this is very different than what we're used to. It's very hard. It's not, there might be days where we don't want to do any work, but I want you to know that I'm very, very proud of all of the hard work you're doing and all of the dedication you have to school and to your learning. Miss Carranza is so proud. Your mommy and your daddy are so proud. We are all very, very proud of you, and you should also be very, very proud of yourself, okay? Make sure you're telling yourself you're doing an amazing job because you are. Got it? Good. Today we're going to be reading Listening with My Heart. It is written by Gabby Garcia and illustrated by Ying Wei Tan. Remember, at the end, we're going to be talking about the story elements. The characters, setting, problem, and solution. Esperanza's tummy fluttered as she practiced her lines on the porch. Fluttered is kind of like when you're nervous, do you sometimes feel like little butterflies in your stomach? Today was the class play. Waiting for Mama to walk with her to school, she paced back and forth when she spotted a heart-shaped rock. Esperanza picked it up and showed it to Mama as soon as she stepped outside. I see you found a little treasure, said Mamma. Esperanza rubbed its rough surface and felt a twinkle of joy. Maybe it's a sign. For what? Asked Mamma. She thought about the class play later that afternoon, wondering what it would finally be like in the spotlight. To put my heart into everything I do, she answered. That means that she does everything, she tries her best at everything she does. At that moment, they heard scratching and a soft cry. Esperanza peeked under the stairs and spotted a kitty shaking and shivering. No Mamma in sight. She scooped the kitten onto her lap and cuddled her. She's all alone. I think she's hungry. Esperanza reached for her lunch bag, pinched off a piece of chicken, and offered it to the kitty, who gobbled it up. Oh, the kitty was hungry. Mama, I think the rock is a reminder to spread kindness and love. That's what we do when we listen with our hearts. I think you're on to something, said Mama. Can we keep Cleopatra, please? Asked Esperanza, who'd already named the kitty. Queens are always welcome at our house, said Mama. If she's still here after school, we'll take her in. Let's make this a little bigger. Sorry. At school, Esperanza was more focused on the play than on math or reading. Clutching her script during recess, she noticed Bo sitting alone on a bench. He was new in school this week and didn't speak much English. She wondered if he felt lonely or scared. Esperanza found a soccer ball and kicked it over to him. Is Esperanza being kind to the boy? Yeah, she is. A smile spread across Bao's face. He stood, popped the ball in the air, then bounced it between his knee and his head a few times. Dude's got moves, thought Esperanza. They spent recess giggling and making up hand signals. What is something kind that Esperanza did with Bao? She became his friend, right? He was sitting all by himself, and she went over to be his friend. Afterwards, Esperanza borrowed Miss Owen's English-Vietnamese dictionary. She wrote friend in Vietnamese, drew a picture of Bao and her, then put it on his desk. Esperanza rubbed the rock in her pocket. Listening with her heart made her feel peaceful inside. Finally, it was time for the performance. It was too late for Bao to be in the play, but he stood at Miss Owen's side as a stage hand. Excitement bubbled as Esperanza awaited her cue. Esperanza walked on stage, tripped as she was about to say her first line, and splattered across the stage. When she got up, she forgot her lines, so Miss Owen whispered them to her from backstage. Heat rushed through Esperanza's body as all eyes were glued to her. She wished she could disappear. How do you think Esperanza feels right now? Take a second to think about how do you think Esperanza feels? I think she might feel a little embarrassed, huh? She forgot her lines and she was in front of all this people. She probably feels a little embarrassed. And I can see her face right here. Look at her face. Her cheeks look a little rosy. I ruined the play, thought Esperanza, rushing off stage as soon as she'd finished her part. I messed up in front of everyone. She tucked herself in behind some props so no one would see her. Esperanza noticed her body shaking and her face still burning. She took a deep breath and dug the rock out of her pocket. It was cracked and lopsided, just how she felt. Esperanza touched her hand to her heart and felt the disappointment. Esperanza felt very disappointed in herself, for she felt like she had ruined the play. Should she feel disappointed in herself? What do you think? Should she? I don't think so. It's okay to make mistakes, right? It's totally okay. Bao found Esperanza a few minutes later and handed her a drawing with the word friend written above it. Esperanza nodded. She hadn't been treating herself like a friend. She was a good friend to Bao, right, earlier when she played soccer with him and gave him a nice little note. But was she being a kind friend to herself? No, she was being very hard on herself. Esperanza realized this wasn't the first time she'd been unkind to herself. At the soccer game last weekend, she'd missed the ball that swooshed by her head and they lost the game. Nice work, a player from the other team yelled as the others laughed. Esperanza thought she'd let her team down and was the worst soccer player in the world. Thinking those thoughts had made her feel worse. Was she being a kind friend to herself at the soccer game? No. At the curtain At the curtain call, Esperanza reminded herself she hadn't ruined the play. She'd had an accident. And accidents happen to everyone. Listening with her heart wasn't just about giving kindness and love to others. It was about giving it to herself too. I can be a friend to myself, thought Esperanza. When Esperanza got home, she focused on her favorite things. She zipped down the hill on her bike, then spent the afternoon painting at the kitchen table. She also got the hug she needed from Mama and some cuddles from Cleopatra. Oh, they ended up keeping the kitty. The end. That was a really sweet story, wasn't it? How it's important to be a good friend to others, but it's also very important to be a friend to yourself and be very kind to yourself because your heart is very important too. Okay, let's think about now the story elements. Let's think about the characters. Who are the characters in our story? Who are the characters in our story? We have the little girl. What was her name? Esperanza, right? The main character was Esperanza. Who was another character? The mom. And who else? The boy. Do you remember what the boy's name was? The boy's name was Bao. B-A-O. Bao. Great. Let's think about the setting. Where does most of the story take place? ¿Cuál es el escenario del cuento? At school, right? For most of the story, the major part of the story was at school. What was the problem that Esperanza had? What was the problem? What was the problem that she had? She wasn't being very kind to herself, right? Esperanza. Oops. Let's think about the play. Esperanza had an accident, right? Had an accident at the play and was very hard on herself. She wasn't nice to herself. She was unkind to herself. So how did she solve that problem? She felt really bad after that, right? She decided to be a friend to herself. She decided to be a friend to herself, right? And to treat her heart better and treat herself better, because it's also very important to be kind to others, but also to yourself. And be kind to herself. Great. So we found the characters: Esperanza, Mom, Bao. The setting was at school. The problem was that Esperanza had an accident at the play and was very hard on herself. She was unkind to herself. And what was the solution? She decided to be a friend to herself and be kind to herself, right? She decided to listen with her heart. That was very important. Great. Now for your activity, you can use the same information Ms. Carranza just gave you over here, and I want you to draw me a picture that matches with each of the story elements, okay? I want you to draw me a picture of Esperanza, maybe draw a picture of the school, draw me a picture of the problem, well, what happened during the problem, and then give me a picture of the solution, something that matches the solution, okay? You can use your imagination, be creative as you want, and I want you to think about the message. What is the author trying to teach you? What does the author want us to learn? Which Ms. Carranza talked about it, right? It's about kindness to others and kindness to who else? Who else? It's very, very important, okay? You can write the message at the bottom of your paper, okay? I hope you all enjoyed this book. Ms. Carranza really, really enjoyed this book. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Please remember to be kind to others, but also be kind to yourself. It's very, very important. Even if things get rough and you think you can't do something, be very kind to yourself. It's very, very important. Capiche? I hope you all have an amazing day. Miss Carranza loves you and misses you so, so much. I will see you on Monday. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Try to get on Imagine Learning during the weekend. I will see you on Monday. Bye.